Welcome to my video on arithmetic and geometric sequences. So let's first review what a sequence is. So a sequence is an ordered list of numbers. Each number in the sequence is called a term. Now there's two types of sequences that we're going to talk about here. Arithmetic is the first one, and each term is found by adding the same number to the one before it. An easy way to remember it is adding starts with the letter A, and so does arithmetic. Now remember, we can add positive or we can add negative numbers. So let's look at the first pattern. 3, 6, 9, 12. The next number is 15. Because if you notice, we're adding 3 each time. So the sequence is formed by adding 3. So the variable expression, has to have a variable in it. So if we look at what we're doing each time, we're adding 3 each time. Well, the variable is each number in the sequence. So we could say n plus 3. And what I mean by the variable is the number in each sequence, let's say we take 3. We replace n with it. 3 plus 3 is 6. It gives us the next number. And then we could take out n and put 6. 6 plus 3 is 9. 9 plus 3 is 12. 12 plus 3 is 15. So the variable expression describes the pattern. So let's look at our second example here. We have 25, 21, 17, and the next number would then be 13. So this sequence is formed by adding -4. So the variable expression is n plus -4. Or you might notice that it's also a subtraction pattern. And look what we're subtracting by. We're subtracting by 4. So we could say or n minus 4. Now you may not have this on your note sheet, so add the word or and add n minus 4. So because adding a negative is the same as subtraction, people often say that arithmetic is an adding and subtracting pattern, but specifically the definition says that you're adding the same number each time. Let's look at geometric. Geometric, each term is found by multiplying the same number to the one before it. Now, we have 1, 4, 16, 64. Notice that the pattern is multiplied by 4. So 64 times 4 would give me 256. And we say the sequence is formed by multiplying by 4. Now you don't have the word by on your note sheet, so add by 4 in that blank on your note sheet. The variable expression is, well, what are we doing? We're multiplying each number by 4, so we're really multiplying the variable by 4. So remember, the best way to write multiplication is number in front of letter. So we would write 4n. We don't want to use the dot or the multiplication symbol. We put the number in front of the letter. Let's look at the last example here. We have 12, 6, 3. So notice we're going down here, and it's actually a division pattern. So we're actually dividing by 2. 12 divided by 2 is 6. 6 divided by 2 is 3. So 3 divided by 2 is 1.5. Now we just said above that geometric sequence is a multiplication. You're multiplying the same number each time. Well, when you're dividing by 2, what fraction are you really multiplying by? Good, 1/2. So it's 1/2 n. So this is still a multiplication pattern here because we got number in front of letter. It happens to be a fraction. Or, and you'll have to add this part on your note sheet, or n divided by 2. Now this is the way, circle this right here, this is the way I would like you to write it, but this is also correct. And writing it this way will help us as we get further into this unit. So let's look at some others. Well, let's talk about some others here. So divide by 2 is the same as multiplying by 1/2. Divide by 3 would be the same as multiplying by 1/3. Divide by 5 would be the same as multiplying by 1/5. So you see the pattern going on here. Divide by 4 would be like multiplying by 1/4. Divide by 7 would be like multiplying by 1/7, and so on and so forth. Okay? So that little piece of information will help you write the fraction when you see a division pattern. Okay, let's turn to the next page and let's practice some examples. So it says, what is the variable expression, underline, for this arithmetic sequence? Now, arithmetic tells us it's an addition pattern. So we're looking at what number are we adding each time here. So if you look at it, we go -1 to 6, 6 to 13, 13 to 20. So we are adding 7. So we write n plus 7. Number 2, what is the variable expression, underline, for this geometric sequence? Now remember, geometric sequence, we're multiplying by the same number each time. So we have 1, 2, 4, 8. What number are we multiplying by here? Good, we're multiplying by 2. So we can write 2n. Remember, when we write multiplication, we put the number in front of the letter. Okay, let's look at example number 3. What is the variable expression for this arithmetic sequence? So underline variable expression, underline arithmetic sequence. And remember, an arithmetic sequence means you're adding the same number each time. So -8 to -2, -2 to 4, and 4 to 10. So you might not see it here, but you can see here that it's going up by 6. -2 to 4. If you can't see it here, you can always look from 4 to 10. So it's plus 6. And -2 to 4 is plus 6 because you've got to go up 2 to get to 0 and then 4 more to get to 4. So that adds up to 6. So the variable expression is n plus 6. Okay, let's look at number 4. What is the variable expression for this geometric sequence? Now, I can see the numbers going down, and if I remember, geometric sequence is a multiplication pattern. So I'm thinking, okay, what number am I dividing by here? Okay, and that will help me figure out the fraction. So let's look here, 64 to 16, 16 to 4, 4 to 1. Okay, it might be easy to figure out these two. How do you get from 16 to 4 using division? Divide by 4. 4 divided by 4 is 1. And then, of course, 64 divided by 4 is 16. But remember, I want you to practice writing it as a fraction. So if we're dividing by 4, what fraction represents that? Good, 1/4. So we could write 1/4 n. Now circle it. This is the best way to write it, but this also means the same thing. So write this as well, or n divided by 4. But remember, when it's a division pattern, I'd like you to write the fraction. Because geometric, the definition says it's a multiplication pattern, so we write it as multiplication, even though divided by 4 is the same as multiplying by 1/4. Okay, if we practice writing it as a fraction now, it will help us as we get further in this unit. So what is the variable expression for this arithmetic sequence? Remember, arithmetic means add. So we're adding, and I notice numbers are going down, -8, -2, -12, -14. So that tells me if the numbers are going down and I'm adding, that means I'm adding a negative. So I could say n plus -2, or some of you might see it as subtraction, n minus 2. Both of these mean the same thing. Okay? Now, when you do your practice on your classwork and homework, you don't have to write both of these. I will either take add -2 or n minus 2. And the last one, what is the variable expression for this geometric sequence? Remember, geometric is multiplication. So what are we multiplying by here? 1 times what is 5? Good, 5. So put the number in front of the letter. So remember, when we're writing multiplication, put the number in front of the letter. And remember, if it's a division pattern, write the fraction in front of the letter. That concludes our notes on arithmetic and geometric sequences. I hope you have a great day.